Peace and blessings, and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to change your life, changing your credit score and your credit report will be a big help. Open your wallet to more money instead of paying out more debt. To do so, go to www.heritagehiphop.com and click on the link for Transparent Credit Repair. Not only are they helping change lives, but they're giving 20% off to everybody who goes through Heritage Hip Hop. So once again, go to heritagehiphop.com, click on the link for Transparent Credit Repair, fill out the questionnaire and everything, and get your 20% off and change your life. It only takes one decision to change your financial future. On this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, we're talking to another legend. That's right, we're going back to the West Coast to talk to West Coast Kam. For those of you who know Kam, you know this is very special, especially to us at Heritage Hip Hop. Salute to my man Nasif, and shout out to Simp, my man Jarnell, because back in high school, we were very big on Kam and the Never Again album. And if you know anything about Ice Cube and street knowledge and everything, when Kam came out, he forged his own path. Let's listen to him tell his story and talk about how we protect hip-hop from culture vultures. And you know what I'm talking about if you've been up on the times. So everybody out there, let's listen to this podcast, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary when it's finished.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop. We value people over playlists. So if you're looking for just music over here, you're going to miss something special. Tonight we have one of the architects of mind, music, and street knowledge. What it really is respect for your people and respect for your culture and respect for yourself. Introduce yourself to the people, please.
Man, this is your brother from the West Coast, Watson, Compton, 1991 veteran, Brother Kam, West Coast Kam. Peace to you.
Yo, it's a pleasure to get to talk to you, and let's have some fun. I want to dig into West Coast hip hop culture, the origins of our culture, and how do we protect it from people who try to take it from us? You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a whole lot in one question. The people that's trying to take it from us is historically the people that took us from Africa. You know what I'm saying? And brought us over here. So, you know, hip hop culture is just a side byproduct of the culture of descendants of 400 years of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is just an expression, just like gospel music or jazz or R&B, soul. You know, it's from the pain and the suffering of an oppressed people. So, you know, in that sense, you know, it's them taking us that produced hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So now in order for them to not be able to corrupt it and change the direction and, you know, wherever they want to go, that's the struggle that I'm pretty sure you was talking about.
I mean, it's even deeper than that, and the way I look at it, because I think hip hop didn't even start from pain and struggle. I think that's where the culture genre came from. I believe hip hop came from the Most High that created us. You know what I'm saying? Whether we look in the books of scriptures, when we look in the books of scriptures, hip hop mirrors everything that our forefathers went through. And I'm not going to divide it by faith, because some believe in Allah, some believe in the Most High.
Right.
I'll tell you this: if you really into Islam, you know it says the Torah, the Injil, and the Quran. So all three got to go together. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yep.
So if I look at it, if the first beat that you ever hear is your mother's heart, and the heart is the drum, that's hip hop. If your body is harmony when it works together and is healthy to create a journey of sound, your journey in life is your body as well. That's your endocrine system. That's your respiratory, etc. So that's hip hop. When we journey through life, or as a man, when you go to your development, you take steps in your development. When you write music, you write the notes in steps. So hip hop has always been a part of us, and that's the thing that I think people don't protect because they look for the bag. Do you agree?
I agree. It's just, you know, when it comes to West Coast, the definition of hip hop is different than the East Coast definition, because East Coast it involves graffiti and breakdancing and, you know, other stuff. So to be specific, I think you're talking more about rap, you know, the rap aspect of hip hop, right? So, you know, by me saying that, you know, is generated from the suffering, I'm talking about the content, what, you know,
Right.
like gospel music was crying out for God, swing low, sweet chariot, you know, free us from our suffering pain, you know, or Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman fight back, or, you know, fight the power, or Melly Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, it's like Jungle Sometime, the message. So I'm talking more specifically about the content of speaking into the pain and the struggle of oppressed people. But exactly, you know, what you mean by the musical, the harmonics and the universal language of music itself and the beat, yeah, that's from the Most High. But the specific content that I'm talking about is from our suffering.
So let's talk about that, because I believe there is a unique, it's similar, but a unique difference when it comes to West Coast and East Coast. And shout out to the West, because the West Coast took hip hop where the East Coast could not. So I have to appreciate that sound and say thank you to all of you who are MCs, beat makers, pop lockers from the West.
Right.
Now, when I think of the West Coast, and I've done my studies, the one person from the West Coast that stood out to me was like Ice-T. He wasn't at the beginning, but he was like the main face that I remember. And shout out to Ice-T, always representing his East Coast roots as well. But then I hear names like Toddy T. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
and I hear names like that. I hear names like that, and I go, yo, the West had something that the East just didn't get. How do you define the origin of West and what makes you so West Coast in that culture?
It's probably just the rebellious mentality, and, you know, most of us, you know, black people came from the South, whether you're from the East Coast or the West Coast. You know, once we was brought over here historically, you know, for slave purposes, we was, you know, planted in the South. And now in the South, you know, they had a war between the North and the South, so-called. That's why Abraham Lincoln supposedly freed the slaves, about, you know, the few that they was having. But the most rebellious of the slaves, were fleed or were run out, you know, from east to the West Coast. The most rebellious ones, the ones that was doing a lot of uprising or whatever, or the ones that wasn't as articulate, you know. So, this is just my opinion, that the most rebellious ones, the ones that was causing the most problem on the plantation or whatever, had to flee or run westward, and, you know, got ran further and further west until, you know, till you get to the coastline, and you can't get ran no further. So our mentality is really, you know, that's where Oakland, California, and San Francisco, and the Panthers, and, you know, gang banging, kind of reached a certain peak of a new high or whatever of, like I said, just being dissatisfied with the status quo, or the powers that be, or the structure, you know, white supremacist structure, whether it's the police or the legal system or employment or whatever, you know, the crack cocaine, the gang banging, the drugs, so that kind of was the backdrop behind our music as well. We wasn't, you know, we didn't, the current rap music or hip hop, you know, that we know as hip hop, that started in the Bronx, in the early 70s, I believe. That wasn't, our lifestyle. That wasn't, I mean, you know, specifically, we was going through a lot of the same things, but we weren't lyrical about it. You know, East Coast cats, from my own study, always had a way with words. You know, they you know, even before rap, like, you know, they was known for hustling. You know, they can get paid off their ability to slick talk, or to even be articulate and be, you know, lawyers and corporate people. We didn't have that on the West Coast. On the West Coast, we was just kind of like just muscle. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a whole lot to verbally say, but we'll get active, you know, against the enemy or whatever. And then that type of rebelliousness and that warrior mentality had us, you know, the COINTELPRO and the CIA and FBI had us turn that energy against each other, and that's what that's what started the the self-destructive aspect, because as you know, in the 60s and 70s, we was all together with the Black Power movement and the Black Panthers and the Nation of Islam and other groups. But after J. Edgar Hoover, planted his seeds and did what he was supposed to do, that turned our warrior energies against each other, and that's where the blood and Crip thing started turning into self-destructive, internal kind of like terrorism against each other, because we natural warriors and we need somebody to fight, and they turned that against each other. So our lyrics represented that. Our lyrics represented F the police or 6 in the morning. Like the beginning of ours was always anti-police, even though it was self-destructive also, like selling dope to each other and claiming your neighborhood. But it was always an aspect of F the police, or 6 in the morning, police at my door, or the Batarang with Tidy T. It was always something about anti-police.
Yeah, see, that's what I wanted to touch on, because, like I said, similar but different. Because one similarity that came out of the 60s into the 70s was young people started raising up, just like today. Young people started raising up to distance themselves from the old way to forge a new path. So a lot of people broke away from the church and started making their own vocal movements, and like the inner city started being the lore of power. In the East, the Nation of Islam came, and then it branched off into God Bodies, Nation of Gods and Earth, et cetera, et cetera. On the West, it was Nation of Islam and Black Panthers. So we always had that energy that we are that people and that strength and that voice that is going to be heard, and taking shorts is not going to be what we settle for. How did that birth Cam and bring him to wanting to pick up a pen and rhyme?
I always, just like you said, by nature, we are the most harmonic, rhythmic, like you said, the beat of the heartbeat, the beat of your pulse, just natural harmonics. That's all music is like a keyboard or a guitar or whatever. It's just about the harmony of sounds, octaves and sounds and tempos. All of it is mathematics. And that's why, in the Nation, I'm a member of the Nation, and we say Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is basketball, is dancing. Mathematics is music, is sound, it's rhythm, it's timed, measured, science that's done so masterfully it becomes art or a gift. Right? So, I forgot what was the question I was trying to get to.
Well, basically, from we talked about the Nation, the Black Panthers, the West Coast influence. How did that influence you and make you want to pick up your pen to rhyme?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was naturally, born with that gift. I had a gift of poetry. This was before rap ever came out. I always loved music, and it's like most black people do. That's the natural harmonics. That's healing, and it feels good. It inspires you, motivates your soul, or whatever kind of music you're listening to. But when I was young, I always used to write stories, like short stories. I had a real gift to write and be able to paint pictures with words. And write poetry and rhyme words. So when I was in elementary school, I was going to George Washington Carver Elementary School, and that's in Watts and Willowbrook. It's like I used to also real good. So I used to do like little Christmas cards, or Mother's Day cards, or Valentine's Day cards for classmates, and they give me a quarter, and I'll write their mama a poem, like I love you poem. You know what I'm saying? Put their mama name in it. So I didn't know I was writing raps. I was writing bars back then in second grade and third grade. And, but I didn't know how to sing. I couldn't carry a note if I tried. So I love music, but I wasn't gonna never be a singer. So when I heard my first rap song, which was like maybe Sugar Hill Gang or The Message or whatever it was back then, it was instantly love at first sound. Okay, you don't have to be able to sing like Michael Jackson. You don't have to be able to, play an instrument. You could just rap, what I was already doing, saying poetry over a beat. So it was love at first, not sight, but first sound. So that's how I started.
That's dope. Because I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and the first time I ever heard you was on Boys in the Hood soundtrack every single weekend.
Right.
And, like, when I heard that song, all right, so the immediate thing that captures somebody is a voice. You know what I'm saying? And a very strong voice is something that can stir up passion, And I want to give a shout-out to my best friend in the world, Nasif, salute, Brick City's finest. He came into high school with your album. You see what I'm saying? So the first song I heard off your album wasn't even a video for Peace Treaty. The first song I heard off your album was Genocide, I believe it was. No, Stereotype.
Oh, Stereotype.
We heard that, and we was like, yo, what the hell is this? And he was like, yo, this that dude Kam, yo. He's like, you an Ice Cube fan? What's that song you always playing? I'm like, Colorblind. That's him, yo. So it was like, yo, we've been banging Kam since 91.
Yeah.
Peace Treaty, Still Got Love for him.
Man.
What up, though? And we've been listening to you in Jersey since 91, so salute. You know what I'm saying?
Man, salute. That's love, man. That's love. And, we don't know. We don't know we got that kind of effect. So we really doing it just thinking locally and thinking that, we want to get our little personal therapy off and say our little piece, but we had no idea that it's affecting the rest of, our original family around the world.
Well, true, because I wanted to talk to you about that solo album, Never Again, because I believe that's one of the albums that changed our lives when we were younger. Today, we don't see conscious hip-hop in the forefront. We just see artists doing conscious music every now and then. And there was like the aura around the Never Again album was strong because Still Got Love for Him told our futures and our present at the same time. What is the power of the pen, and how do you take control of it when you write?
Like we started out, it's really from suffering. Not saying that, no victim mentality and nothing like that, but suffering makes you dig deep into try to understand what's happening to you and why is it happening to you, and then give some kind of verbal therapy or therapeutic, words, even if you got to talk to yourself. That's when people write journals or whatever. It's from what, dissatisfaction or what, something that I'm suffering or I'm seeing my people suffer from, that I'm trying to speak into their pain to ease or relief, give them some relief or give myself some relief. So, all my raps is always, mostly about dealing with adversaries or an enemy or a problem or whatever, because I'm a problem solver. Or I'm trying to be a problem solver. So that's where my, mine was never about the bag or females or nothing like that. Mine was always about trying to solve some problems that I was having.
I group you in a certain context when it comes to West Coast MCs because, and shout out to my brother because he helped me formulate my idea and understanding of hip hop. When you think of hip hop, everybody thinks about gangster rap only. You know what I'm saying? But like you, Cube, I give Cube that respect. You, Cube, Exhibit, Rash Cash, Hieroglyphics, The Licks, King T. I mean, even Pac Div that came out not too long ago. I mean, there's so much flavor in the West that I got to give you a certain amount of credit because you in Paris, who considers the Black Panther of hip hop. Y'all too helped me understand that life is bigger than the bar. It's the message that goes beyond the bar. See, you're right. On the East Coast, we talk about, lyrics, any MC that disagree with me, wave your arm, you know what I'm saying? But even in the West.
Words.
Yeah.
Like, y'all was fly with words. Yeah, well, it didn't start that way. I'm gonna be honest. Like, like, it didn't start that way. It was maybe subject matter that really was the eye or the ear catcher. It was a hook. If you're talking about F the Police or you're talking about, like I said, 6 in the morning or the Bataram, like, or even what Eazy-E was talking about, we wasn't lyrical. You know what I'm saying? We had content.
Told the truth.
Yeah, exactly. So it was the subject matter that we wasn't scared to say. But on the East Coast, like y'all was saying dictionary words and stuff like that, that sound fly. Like, damn, I ain't never heard a nigga say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, it was just about, you know, big words in the dictionary and make you go study. Like it made you get your vocabulary up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But us, on the other hand, you know, made you get your social consciousness of like, damn, why are they saying that? Or what, you know, damn, they saying that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't had a lot to do about vocabulary as much as it did about content or subject matter.
So then I always ask people, what was the most punctual part of the hip hop for you? Is it the bar or is it the delivery? Since you said people weren't really barred up, what defined the West Coast MC and how did you perfect that?
I think it's first and foremost, it was the beats. You know, the beats had to be what really got you, because another pioneer on the West was Tone Loc. You know, remember Wild Thing?
Wild Thing, yeah. And Funky Cole Medina.
Yeah, all of that, right? So the first thing that's gonna catch you is the beat and whether or not, you know, girls can dance to it or dudes wanna you know, get active to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the short, you gotta forgive me, I got short-term memory. What was the question again?
How did you perfect your MC shit? What defined it? If bars wasn't the thing in the West, what defined the MC and how did you perfect it?
Right. Well, for me, it was bars, but it was voice. It was voice and pocket, meaning flow, delivery. It was attitude. You know, that's what you know Cube was known for. Cube had relevant West Coast street slang words that he would use, but he put it in an attitude, like, you know, NWA niggas with attitude, so the attitude reflected, you know, the emotions that we was going through and how we was talking, whether you're talking to a female, you're talking to the police, you're talking to some other dudes or some enemies. And similarly, Tupac, you know, he never was barred up. It was just his emotion. He would say something with emotion, and 9 times out of 10, the emotion had to do with real social ills or a real enemy or some, you know, he wasn't barred up. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I saw a little gap there, and you know, I'm a product of these same streets. But I know I was a little more barred up, and I had the potential to be, because I was always a poet, and I was I was always looking for not rhyming just that last word, but I want to rhyme the whole sentence and make it still be relevant and still be on the subject matter. You know what I'm saying? Tell a story. So my degree of difficulty way back then, even though my flow was slower or whatever, I wasn't using I wasn't fast rapper or whatever, but you know, my degree of difficulty, I raised the standard up, you know, a whole lot, and I'd like to challenge myself. Can I make a whole record, a whole song, rhyme in the whole sentence for 16 bars, you know what I'm saying, and still making it be on point and on topic? So I kind of challenge myself like that.
With albums like Never Again, even Made in America, which I think is slept on, because I think people who listen to that right now, I think they'll get the jewels that was left, especially in Keep the Peace with Warren G. Great album, a great record. I like that. But then even when Camnesia came out, you know what I'm saying? Even in that gap when you weren't around, we were like, it was missing, because I'm not gonna lie, hip hop took a turn in the 2000s that made me not listen to hip hop for a while. And I had to go back to my roots, and you're part of my roots. You see what I'm saying? And one thing that really stood out to me about Kam was this. Kam always stood strong on his morals as a man and his belief. Why do you think that's the missing element in hip hop today with the people that's doing hip hop now?
Because, you know, unfortunately we've been deceived and lured out off of our square, our manhood, by the bag. Everything is about the bag now. So now the bag is your religion, the bag is your homie, the bag is your wifey or your love, the bag is your success. It's all about the bag. And that goes back to who the real enemy is and how they manipulate us. And in this case, in this season, or it's through the bag, which has their face on it, and underneath it, the hypnotic suggestions, "In God we trust." You know what I'm saying? So that's what this world uses as its instrument to get luxury and money. I mean, and good homes and respect and females and comforts and fame or whatever. So they use their media and they dollar bill. So that becomes now the goal. Liberation or speaking into certain pains or healings, you know, is everybody's going for themselves if they can get this little bag. So, you know, what I wasn't willing to do, somebody else will be willing to do. You know, my morals or my manhood code, you know, is something that wasn't able to be purchased, and that, you know, I thought wrong and all that, but I pay a price for it.
Word. And see, that's
you fell off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. When you weren't around in the game, and it may have been by choice, or it may have been the powers that be that wanted to shut the message out, because we've seen Wise Intelligent disappear,
Right.
and we know why he disappeared. Right. We know why Public Enemy got pushed underground and stuff like that, because it was prophesied that real hip hop would go away, go to the underground, and the machine. We had to fight the machine to get the real hip hop, you know.
Yeah.
And we knew that.
Yeah.
But I want to give a salute to Jim Jones. Because when you came out in the Certified Gangsters video, that's what I'm telling you. My friends was like, "Oh, Cam, oh," you know what I'm saying? We was happy. Right. We saw West Coast Kam. We was like, "All right, cool, Cameron Cam, all right, cool." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We was like, "All right, we understand." But it was good to see one of the generals still standing strong. And that's one thing I've always respected about the NOI is that when men of color get strong, not only are we a fear for people in power, we're a blessing for people looking for change. Mm-hmm. What does the NOI signify in hip hop, in your opinion?
NOI is the root word of the culture. You know, the word culture, like hip hop culture, the root word is cult. And a lot of people, you know, erroneously or wrongly put a negative, evil connotation on that word, but cult is not a evil word. You know, just like gun or a knife ain't evil, but if you want to use it for evil, then yeah, it'll be that. But the NOI is 100%. You know, and this is my view, my opinion, is the 100% essence of this culture. You know what I'm saying? Because the God MCs, you know, that brought me that played a part of me even coming to the nation was the Rakim Allahs, the Lakim Shabazes, you know what I'm saying, the Brand Nubians, the Poor Righteous Teachers, you know what I'm saying? So all of that is Nation of Islam degrees or teachings straight from the Nation of Islam. So it don't mean that it's religion, because like I said, our Islam is not traditional ghost stories or stuff like that. The definition of our Islam is the science of everything in life. Provable truth, nature, you know, that you can always prove in no limit of time, is mathematics. You know, like we said, what music is, you know, the beat, how many beats per second, how many BPMs is that, what's the tempo of that, you know what I'm saying, or what's the flow. It's all mathematics. It's not some spook mystery god, you know, religious ghost story business. So the Nation of Islam, you know, taught me how to even stand on a manhood code with righteous moral principles and go to war, and life is war, and war ain't even an evil thing. You know, war just means struggle. So you can struggle for evil or you can struggle for good. So, you know, Nation of Islam is where I learned all of that.
Facts. And I mean, I've studied the Nation. I've never been a member, so I will humbly say I salute all of the brothers who are, because unity is one of the things that's lacking amongst our people.
Right.
Because there's people among us who know that we came from Africa. There's people among us who know they came from this country, which means we were brothers in different countries, all unified, but then somebody split it. Right. And even with how the nation split during its history, Cream always has risen to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was a recent movie about who killed Malcolm, and it was traced to my state. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what to say about that. That's its own story. Because going back to you though, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who I would love to meet one day. I'll put it in the air so the universe can hear it.
Right. That's right.
I mean, when he rose, and I remember the Donahue interviews. When I remember even the beefs with rappers that he came and talked to them about. Him being on the radio, Savior's Day, the Million Man March. That was all cornerstones of hip hop culture, because that showed us that no matter what we do, we are valuable in the eyes of God and in the eyes of this world, no matter what anybody says to us.
Right.
How did the words of Farrakhan or the experience or how did the influence, I should say, of Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, make you a better MC than you just rapping?
Just because of his example, me not having a father figure in my life, and that's true with the majority of the males that's members of the Nation of Islam under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He was and is the father figure example of a man, uncompromising, unwavering, righteous, moral, disciplined, self-master, because that's even with the nation of gods and earth. That's what the definition of Islam is. I, self, Lord, and Master. That it's about not a spook. It's about you are God. It's not that, we doing this quote unquote for God. No, we are the gods. Ye are all gods, children of the Most High, and this whole action concept is just us being raised back into the knowledge and the power of being just that. Not one individual is God. We the body. All of us together are the God, are the supreme being. So that alone, that example, seeing that man as an example of how to maneuver and how to stand strong in the face of the greatest, most vicious, wicked, powerful, wise enemy in history, and conquer and never have to fight the blood, never have to do no gang banging or no time or no, what I'm saying, and be the most fierce, righteous general that I ever seen in my life, in my lifetime. That ain't nothing but it's me want to be a man. That make me want to stick my chest out and my chin up and bark or roar like a. So, in order for us to become a man, we have to see a man. Only a man can make another man.
Right. And you know something? I mean, I've gone through this for years, and this is not about me. This is about honoring the man who's given his life to his people in religious cause. Not saying religious, I'm sorry, righteous cause.
I know what you mean. Right.
Man, listen, yo. People always ask me about voting and stuff like that. I'm also a member of Goodfellas. You can see everybody watching Goodfellas TV. We're on the line. This is Heritage Hip Hop. We're on the line with prolific MC and West Coast legend Kam. West Coast Kam, to y'all who don't know who he is. People always ask me like, yo, so you can't throw your vote away. Who would you rather vote for? I said, I don't want to vote for evil. The lesser of two evils is still evil. KRS-One taught us that. And they go, well, who do you want to vote for? I said, Farrakhan. They said, but ain't nobody ever going to let Farrakhan be. And I was like, yeah, but guess what? As a man thinketh, so he does. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I catch people with all that. Like, don't give me that rhetoric. I'm going to tell you what it is. And, people may hate me after this interview and everything, and that's fine. I grew up hated anyway. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say, like, that man has now come under fire for the past 2 years for always doing what he's been doing, and that's standing strong and telling the truth. Right. Now we get to a point where, unfortunately, I hate to bring this up, but it's a basis of your new single, Culture Vulture. DJ Vlad has put himself in the arena of not only misquoting, but not taking back the damage that was done by by media perspective. Right. How do we fix that situation, and can we?
Yeah, we're fixing it right now by doing exactly what you said, which is not voting for no lesser of no two evils. We don't vote for no evils. We vote to unite with each other. the quote unquote founding fathers of America didn't vote to come over here and make America. They got together and did it. They didn't take no votes. You know, if the people that historically deal us injustice, we don't go to them petitioning them to give us justice when they the ones that issued all the injustice to us. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? We need to do exactly what we see the white Jewish people, speaking of Vlad in the state of Israel did. Separate. There's nothing wrong with separation. Like we are the real children of Israel. We're the real Hebrews, you know, the real Jews that suffered for 400 years, that was afflicted in bondage, like the Bible said, for 400 years. So, you know, we're all of this is real God prophecy. It's not religion. It's original people that was oracles, our own people that had such wisdom and mastery of mathematics that they can look down the wheels of time and see into the future. A lot of us is born with that gift, especially black women. A lot of older black women or whatever, your grandmamas and all that, they start developing a tune gift, or that gift that all of us have naturally, into being able to see what's going to happen in the future. So in religion, they call it prophecy or whatever. So our original people thousands of years ago saw this, what we was going to go through. So you can try to discount it all you want, but it's there in writing. Just like you can't discount the fact that it's 3 big old pyramids in Egypt right now, in Giza and Kemet right now. You can't say aliens built that. You can't say this, they don't exist. You can't say that the scientists, the top scientists of this world, know how they even got out there or how they was built. They don't know it. So that's letting you know that the original people, man and women, are original God scientists, and we know how to keep secrets. Certain secrets have been kept just so, you know, the devils, you know, the wicked rulers of this world would never get their hands on that information. So in that whole context, signs have to be left of who we are. That's what that Sphinx is out there for. A sleeping lion, you know, with the nose. Napoleon shot the nose off to try to hide our identity, and you know, they've been shooting noses off all kind of stuff throughout, you know, Africa and the Middle East or whatever that showed our identity. But that's to all hide the fact that we are the gods and the goddesses. All human beings are God. Let me just say that. I'm talking about white people included. But you can be the God of righteousness, or you can be gods of evil. You know, the gods of evil is called Satan. You know what I'm saying? There's no spooks and no mystery ghosts. So
I want to jump off on that. Just to stop right there for a second, because I think what you said has to be pulled back a little bit, because that's very deep. That's very deep, and I don't want to lead people to thinking that we're just going to pass their minds. This is Karan from Heritage Hip Hop on the line right now with West Coast Kam, aka God Body Cam, aka Prophet Cam. We're gonna put it out there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put it out there as part of appreciation. Now, from what you said, and relating it back to the dishonor that's come upon the Honorable Minister himself.
Right.
There was a religion that was taught in American culture that's called Manifest Destiny. Are you privy to it? Do you know it?
Yeah, what the white people did to the Native Americans.
Well, it goes a little farther than that, because Manifest Destiny is a religion. Okay? And Manifest Destiny says that, and it's funny because this is the basis of every movie in Hollywood. Manifest Destiny says the strong will take the lesser, but in the end, the lesser will beat the strong. Manifest Destiny says, since we're strong, we're meant to take over until somebody can take us out of place. So that forces people to either get their shit right or get rolled over.
Right.
And we've seen that everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's a virus. I mean, you know, that's why I say life is war. Everything is a war. As soon as you get shot out your daddy's testicles, you in that war.
It's a struggle. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a struggle. All war is a struggle. War is not evil. It's not a bad thing. But just like a virus, like this coronavirus, the coronavirus is a living virus. It wants to live. A leech is a living thing. It wants to live. Unfortunately, it lives off of killing its host. You know what I'm saying? So it's in a struggle with the host. The host is in a struggle with the leech. that's the way, you know, nature is set up. It is war. It's a struggle. Light is in order for there to be light in the darkness, it has to go to war with darkness. It has to repel the darkness. So, you know, we've been taught, you know, like I said, unfortunately, that war is evil or is wrong or is bad. No, everything you do, you go to the gym and you get sore, or you go jogging, or you go bike riding, that's war. All of this is war. It's not an evil thing. War is necessary. Friction is necessary. Positive and negative is necessary to have an electrical current. So negative just means, you know, in emotional, religious language, negative means devil. You got two wires. You got a hot wire, a red wire, which means positive or good. And then you got it's a black wire, but it's supposed to be a white wire. The real ground or negative wire is a white wire. And in science or whatever, in electronics, that's called a negative wire, but in religion or emotion, it's called evil or bad. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at things scientifically instead of emotionally, then you can get it. But if we don't have the knowledge, then we default to emotionalism and we don't get nowhere.
I'm glad you said that, because that sums up what I wanted to go into, which is unity. Because the Nation of Islam, and shout out to the brothers Ben X, Reza Islam, Wesley Muhammad, Nuri Muhammad. I mean, even when we saw the branch off of Khalid Muhammad back in the day, it was still something that brought men together, even if they went their own way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And unity has been the fear of America since John Quincy Adams, Ben Franklin, George Washington, and them signed those papers where, I don't know if you knew about this, there was a meeting in Virginia about Virginia in early Congress. And they said that Virginia has more slave men that outnumber the white owners.
Right.
And what will we do if they ever rise up? And John Quincy Adams said, and it's written on paper, you can look this document up, he said, no, because of the way we set up the law, and that they're counted as one man is less than a man, 3/5, which means if you have two men, that's one man and some, and that's why they knock down our numbers, you know, the loitering laws and black codes. But they set up the thing so that people could not unify. Take it to J. Edgar Hoover, where the fear of America is the black messiah, and they have to stop it. To now, the messiah complex is so big that they're gunning down young men in the streets left and right, police, everything. So why do you think unity is the fear of the planet, and how can we protect our unity and what little we have now?
Well, let's get to the Messiah and why they got such a problem all of a sudden with Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because they know that he is that Messiah that they've been trying to stop, first of all. And then going back to what you were saying about John Quincy Adams, one of the founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, said it, you know, at the beginning also, I tremble for my country, for my nation, pardon me, not my country, my nation, meaning my race. I tremble for my nation when I reflect that God is just and that his justice cannot sleep forever. He knew what he was doing to these slaves, you know, these black slaves, and on the early coins of you know, before even America was really founded, the currency, the coin, on the back of the coin, instead of the White House or whatever they had on there, they actually had a pictorial image of Moses and the children of Israel running from Pharaoh's army, and a big UFO in the sky, a chariot of fire, you know, God's chariot in the fire. So he said that because he knew exactly what he was doing to our people. He knew exactly that he was fulfilling the Pharaoh role in enslaving us, and it was to last 400 years. So according to their books, you know, they started it, according to their books, they started it in 1619, and last year was 2019, which made the 400th year according to their books. But we know in the nation, according to our books, the first of our people to be brought over here as slaves was in 1555. So we really in the 465th year instead of the 400th year.
Yeah, Chuck D said that it can't trust it. 1555.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, we hip hop over here.
yeah. It's more than rap. It's bigger than rap, like Dead Fred.
That's right. So everybody that's listening, you're listening to somebody who not only you respect on heritage hip hop, but someone who's teaching. But in the midst of all these platforms now coming at DJ Vlad, whether you see him as just or unjust, that's y'all opinion. But I'll put it to Cam like this. Now that Vlad has been put on blast, now that Vlad has been exposed, and he's been exposed many times for the type of questions that he asks, and then now that people have more respect coming towards an elder man, not only an elder man, a leader, not only an elder man and a leader, but someone who put their life on the line and has survived poisonings, people disrespecting his character, his nation, his culture, his wife, sons, and everything, and still stood strong. Now that all this has been exposed, what do we do now to protect our culture and to eliminate those who eat off of our culture?
Pressure. You know, it's pressure. It's war. You know, the reason why a lot of people say, well, he disrespected this person in the past, he disrespected Dr. Sabi, he disrespected reparations, he disrespected, I forgot, you know, some other things. And it's because this special character that he disrespected this time, which is the Messiah, which is the character that J. Edgar Hoover and all the rest of them feared. So, and that's Farrakhan. Either, you know, you can take it or let it alone, you can love it or hate it or believe it or not. Farrakhan is that man that, you know, we see in 1995 where, you know, you didn't do whatever he done for black people. Okay, whatever. What is any teacher supposed to do for you? What was Jesus supposed to do for you? What was any prophet supposed to do for you? If you're a grown man, all they're supposed to do is be an example and show you, you know, what you didn't know and how to live it. But, you know, we childish or, you know, we go through whatever we go through. But the fact that Vlad crossed the line with that man, right? And the reason why Vlad even brought that up is because of what was happening weeks prior with so-called Jewish people persecuting people like Nick Cannon or Deshaun Jackson or Allen Iverson or who, you know, anybody that was saying anything cool or respectful or loving or whatever about Minister Farrakhan. The ADL was pressing them and punishing them and persecuting them and chastising them. So Lord Jamar was you know, he 5%er. He God body. He 5%er. In 2014, Vlad, he was on Vlad's show in 2014, and Vlad brought the same subject up to Lord Jamar. You know, the Nation of Islam, you know, they think that white people are devils. Do you think, is that what you believe? And he told him straight to his face, yeah. You know, the white man is the devil, Vlad, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That didn't upset Vlad that much to where, you know, he would slander or misquote, you know, Lord Jamar. He didn't have a problem with that concept. He kept him on his show for 6 more years, you know, and didn't have a problem with it. So why would you have a problem with Farrakhan saying something, you know, that he been saying, but it was really the subject of the quote unquote Jewish thing. You know, he was looking for a reason to get on cold with his white so-called Jewish people and ride against Farrakhan. Right? Because personally, he got a black wife. So now, you know, the teachers of the nation, or we don't agree with that. We don't agree with white people and black people intermarrying or intermixing because we don't do each other's natures justice. So the power and the influence that he knows that Farrakhan carries on subjects like that is making him even more uncomfortable personally. And then, you know, I think it was Brother Reza, somebody, you know, kind of put it out there that Vlad was salty because he couldn't get a personal interview. Minister Farrakhan refused to, you know, give him an interview for whatever reason. So, you know, he was in his feelings about that and, you know, kind of had a chip on his shoulder from that point and was looking for a reason to, so I heard him bait Godfrey and, you know, we seen how he baited, D.L. Hughley, you know, you're using your platform to try to draw and bait in other black influences of our culture against Farrakhan. So you stepped in it, buddy. So, you know, gotta be made an example.
Facts. And I mean, I don't even want to stay on Vlad too much, but because of the single, you have Culture Vultures out right now with Dame Dash. And Dame Dash coined that term and took it to the mainstream. You know, now everybody knows Culture Vulture. And I think it was important that you had Dame on that track. Tell us about why you wanted Dame on there, and what is the goal of this song? We know what the message is, but what's the goal of it?
The goal is to make an example. Before I get into, the Dame, and shouts out to Dame, respect, is to make an example of these violators, like these evil violators, the same way that us righteous violators in slavery was made examples of. When we try to get free, or we try to lead a plantation or help our people, if a strong alpha male that was waking up, to try to take his freedom and to be himself, showed up on a plantation and started influencing people, they would publicly bring him out and quarter him, like Lord Jamar, was saying, put a rope around each arm and around each leg and tie him to 4 different horses and crack the whip and rip him apart or hang him or castrate him or burn him at the stake in front of all the rest of the slaves, on the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
A gruesome, terrifying example that would traumatize anybody who, coming after him that had the idea that they want to do something similar. So that's what needs to be done. And that's what's going to be done, that's being done with Vlad. Nobody going to do nothing physically to him. But, his worst fear is to be publicly humiliated. That's anybody that becomes famous. If you become a famous person, it's not about even taking your wealth. What good is your wealth when your name, your name ain't nothing?
Facts.
So you think just because a person, Vlad ain't worried about you, he over there with 10 million, y'all, no, he worried about this. We got, if you, I don't care how much money you got, if you ain't got no peace of mind and you walking out with a scarlet letter on your forehead, the mark of the beast on your forehead, and all the black people that you've been, made you rich and famous, see you for who you are now, all the money in the world ain't gonna make you feel okay about that.
Facts. So, with that being said, I mean, you want to talk about Dame?
Oh, the Dame. Yeah. So Dame, I had to tap in with Dame because that's where I got that's where I first heard it from. Other people say somebody else coined it. I don't know. Dame was the first person I ever heard coin it, and he wrote a book on it, you know what I'm saying? And he been screaming it, and he been calling these people out by name, and that's what I love. I don't like that subliminal, vague. I like when you go right at it. That's why I respect Trump, because he, on a negative side, he got that same quality. He don't care. He gonna call your name out and let the chips fall how they fall. So Dame been doing that for the last 4 or 5 or more years. After I think he said Leor Cohen or whoever it was responsible for splitting, Rockefeller up and this and that. So I don't know the history enough. I just know from a distance that I respect his manhood to be able to call out and challenge the power like that, challenge an institution like a Leor Cohen or whoever else. So I always been on some underdog David and Goliath type stuff like that. So, he always been a hero of mine in that subject right there. So I had to tap in with him and reach out for him, man. Can you bless me on this? And he had, man, no problem. Just send it. You know what I'm saying? And he knocked it out. Man, and the rest was history. I'm going with it. And I was begging. I mean, not begging him, but man, let me, what you want for this? Let me give you some, percentage or some publishing. Or he's like, man, you good? Can you straight? You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing. I was like, man.
Word. And that's what's up. That's real love. Standing up for the culture. Standing up for the culture, not for your personal benefit, but a benefit for the people long term. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So please give everybody your social media and know how they can get the song and,
My social media, thanks to shouts out to you said earlier to Jim Jones. He the one that gave me the new tag, the new title, West Coast Kam. But you can find me on social media at West Coast Kam, one word, Kam with a K, not with a C like camera. West Coast Kam with a K. on all of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also my website, which is westcoastkam.com, where you can actually, none of us is taking no Dr. Fauci vaccines. So I actually, for the last since 2009, been private and independently researching and experimenting on myself and my family with ionic colloidal silver. I've been making colloidal silver for myself and my family for years, since about 2008, 2009. So now I've been making it available for my community, so you can get that. You can research what colloidal silver is. It's the strongest natural antiviral known to science, but it's been suppressed by the FDA because it's an element of a mineral in nature, and they can't put a patent on it. They can't monopolize it, and it's not a drug. And there's no cures for none of this stuff found in no drug. All cures is found in nature, and that's another reason why Dr. Sebi was on to something that rest in peace. And so you can find, like I said, you can find me on West Coast Kam and everything, and you can find that colloidal silver. So research it for y'all that don't know. Research it for yourself. It works. None of my children ever been vaccinated, never been hospitalized, never had no illnesses, no sicknesses. This is what we've been on. So I can't say what it's going to do for you, but if you research what medical peer-reviewed published journals and scientific journals say colloidal silver does for all viruses, all disease-causing viruses, over 650 of them. It kills them within 6 seconds, from 6 seconds to 6 minutes of contact. And there's no known virus, disease-causing virus that has been able to mutate on silver. So check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it.
Word. And everybody, just to give you, this is back him up. That's why you have silverware, because the silver purifies. And you don't carry things you can't carry things in silver. Silver purifies. So that silverware, that's why it's worth so much, because it doesn't age and rust. And it doesn't put any impurities in your meal, on your fork or your spoon.
It kills the bacteria.
Over here. This is hip-hop. That's right.
This is hip-hop, real hip-hop.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, shout out to my peoples, Jarnell, shout out to Nasif, shout out to my brother, 'cause like I said, we grew up with music, the Never Again album every single weekend, all that. We was on it. And before we go, we want to do one of our games, which was called the Rapid Fire Questions. They're not yes/no questions. They just show your depth of hip hop knowledge and you as an MC. Cool?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. My grade gonna be. Let's go though.
All right, here we go. First question: what song or album perfectly describes you from another artist's catalog?
Perfectly describes me. Man, I think it would be Rakim's God I Am. I think it's God I Am, or I forgot. It's either I'm God or God I Am.
The song?
Yeah, it's the name of the song. Yeah.
All right. Everybody, go research it. Next question. If somebody came to you and say, define hip hop for me in 5 albums, what are the 5 albums you're giving them?
Ooh, wait. Man, for me, sheesh. It would be Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 with the one with the message on it.
Okay.
It would be Paid in Full, Eric B, Eric B for President. It might whatever that album, Paid in Full, yeah.
Paid in Full.
It would be, for me personally, Biz Markie. It'd be Biz Markie. I forgot the name of the album, the one with the vapor.
With the vapor on it. The first one?
Yeah, with the
first music with your mouth and all that.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That one. Yeah.
Okay.
It would be Ice Cube, Death Certificate.
One more.
And man, let me see. That's rough. Probably be Outkast.
Okay. No.
Yeah, Outkast. Yeah,
which one?
With the what was the first one? Southern Playlist.
Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's dope. Another question for you. See, this rapid fire. We having a good time.
Yeah,
The Lynch Mob and Street Knowledge crew. Yeah, y'all were one of the hardest crews ever. Shout out to Ice Cube, Yo-Yo, the Lynch Mob, Caution, Threat. Rest in peace, yo. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we grew up off of y'all. So I know this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Colorblind was one of the hardest songs ever in hip-hop history. You know what I'm saying? And I want to ask you, what's the dopest crew song ever made in hip-hop to you?
Dopest crew song? Man. The dopest crew song, it'd probably be Wu-Tang, man, wait, hold on, let me think. Hold on, let me pull that back. I'm not saying that's not it. Let me see. Dopest crew song. Man, that's too rapid for me, because to me it'd be, to me it'd be between Wu-Tang and NWA.
Okay, that's dope right there. You don't even gotta say the song. That's fire. All right. Next question. Yeah, I tell you, we have fun on Heritage Hip Hop. Now, next question isn't a hip hop question. It's a real question. Part of why we love Cali so much in New Jersey is because we have similar natures to y'all. The police state of California is just about the same police state that's in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And Jersey was a Confederate state up north at that. Check that out. You know what I'm saying? And the Watch Riot and the Newark Riot signify the change in the community and how people stood strong to start making their own. Out of the riot that you know, which is the Watch Riot, what was the defining thing that came out of the riot that you think still contributes to hip hop today and makes it relevant?
The hip hop, that's where After Police came from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? F the police. And F the police don't mean F all police, but it means, you know, we're not blind, we're not deaf, we're not dumb no more. We see the brutality and the injustice, and if we do our history, we know why the police department was even established in America. That was for catching runaway slaves. So it ain't changed. So just to not be under that hypnosis anymore, that's your authority, that you have to submit and obey and conform and all that. No, you have to do, because anytime something go wrong, you know, and something, you know, we get brutalized or we get shot or we get killed, you know, we got that poison program that said, well, what did he do wrong? Why you should have just obeyed the police? You should have just conformed. Nah, I'd rather, you know, if I see they want to take my life and there's no other recourse, or you violate my woman or my daughter, I just got to die then. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is the most profound and most poignant positive aspect of hip hop, that we put those feelings in the lyrics now in these records. So, you know, I want to hear more of that. I want to hear more F the real enemy, you know, and the majority is in police uniform, so, you know, it is what it is.
All right. We have 3 more questions before we end out this interview. Everybody, thank you for listening. We're going to close this up real good and real strong. The next question, once again, follows that what you just said. Hip-hop is known for the pain, the struggle, and the articulation of a great people. I say that, I call this thing heritage hip-hop because our heritage is the Most High. And so if we're the Most High's heritage and he gave us hip-hop, we are the heritage of hip-hop, which is God.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And in understanding that, God gives us the power to grab a microphone and let our voices be heard. You kind of answered the question, but I want you to go deeper. What is the one message hip-hop has not given that you're waiting to hear?
It's what got us in trouble right now with what's going on, why this Vlad thing is even happening, this Nick Cannon thing, is that we was able to say F Donald Trump, but we not able to say, you know, F the people that Donald Trump is at war with, which is the architects, the wisest of the white supremacists, which are the false Zionist Jewish people. Those ones that control banking and finance and radio stations and television and media and literature and all of that. but cry and claim that they don't. When we all see that they do. You own Disney, or you own whatever you could just fire or sever ties with Nick Cannon. You say that you don't control it, but you proving you do every day. You know, when we do something that you don't like. So I want to hear more hip hop single out like Dame Dash do with Leroy Cohen, singling out those characters, those enemies right there, the so-called white Ashkenazi Zionist Jew, not the white Jews, the Orthodox white Jewish people, like that really practice Judaism, that really try to discipline themselves to the teachings and the laws and the religion of Moses. We have no problem with those Orthodox rabbis and Jewish people, we have no problem with them. I'm talking about those that masquerade saying that they Jewish people, but they the ones behind pornography and bestiality and homosexual this and homosexual that, and promoting that when they claim to be followers of the laws of Moses, which is directly opposed to that. So that's Satan. I want to hear more hip hop exposing and condemning Satan.
Where you want conscious hip hop to come back.
Right.
Okay.
Basically.
And salute to Paris and Public Enemy that just released new albums. Let's get this. And Wise Intelligent with the Snow Goons. And we waiting for your album, bro. I mean,
yeah, it's coming.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Shout out to Doc Diggler. He got a song called Hall of Fame in My Hood. And you got a song just the same, right? It's called Legend in My Center.
Oh yeah, Legend in My Section.
And
that's that's featuring Corrupt and Chill from Compton Most Wanted, MC8 and Chill. And that's from an album that I got complete. I got a whole album complete. It's untitled. Battle Cat produced. He produced the whole album. It's called Cat and Cam. So that was that. Legend in My Section was the first single. And we did a video, but we ain't really officially released it yet. Now I got another I gave it away. Another record off of that, a single called Race War. And that's featuring David Banner and Big Gift from the Goody Mob. That's also produced by Battle Cat. So
shout out to
that's
Battle
the
Cat,
album.
Battle Cat is one of the dopest. Him, Sir Jinx. Yo, they are some of the dopest ever. Like I said, we hip hop over here. We celebrate our culture internationally, domestically, and we in Jersey, so we go Jersey to around the world. So we love y'all. East, west, south, overseas, whatever. Right. We love y'all. So I think we're just going to start with the last question, because I think this has been a great interview. Did you like it? It's one of the best you've had?
Oh, man, for sure. This is the most intelligent one, because, you're a real scientist. You're a scientist of this culture, so I love that, I stutter, but I like the way how smooth you are. I know you know what you're talking about, and you understand what you're talking about, so I'm really listening to you, and you done hit me with a few bars that I need to go study up on. So I need to be fed.
I appreciate you. So like I said, if I ever get to the West Coast after this coronavirus, if the Most High allow, I'll love to meet you and just the Bible says when you meet a man of wisdom, you wear out his doorstep. So I would like to sit down with my pen and pad and just learn. That's what my life is all about.
We both gonna be sitting down with pads, and I'm gonna be sitting down listening to you, and you can sit down and listen to me. So how about that?
It's an honor. It's an honor. Thank you so much, yo. So the last question of our interview comes from here. May the Most High bless you, because this question is going to be a long-term question, and it is that in 500 years, maybe 600 years, there's going to be a West Coast hip-hop museum, right? And unfortunately, you're not going to walk on the planet when it's there, because you know how people are right now. But may the Most High bless you, so we, especially in police brutality, injustice, corona, and corruption, we don't wish any harm on you, your family, any of your loved ones at any time. Let's just put that out there first. But the 500 to 600 years from now, they're going to have a West Coast hip hop museum, and they're going to go into one of the wings. And when they're going to talk about innovators of perspective thoughts, they're going to have Cam there, and the Never Again album, and Legend in My Section is going to play, and Culture Vultures is going to be there. They're going to talk about how you took a stand in social media, just like other MCs are taking stands with the podcast, and they're going to talk about how, like you said, you stood on your square and you never gave in to injustice or corruption, even when it came to standing for the culture. A child's going to learn about you and hear your music. The most important question of this interview, which is your first interview, you can always come back, but the most important question of the first interview is this. What is the legacy of Cam, and how did he make the world better because he did music?
I think because I used my music to echo the words of who I recognize as the Messiah, that key pivotal figure that ended Satan's world and Satan's influence over our people. Mm-hmm. So, and that, of course, is Farrakhan. That's who I'm with, and that's who I believe that to be, and that's why I dedicated my life to help him and to use my gift to put his words in my rap. It's not his words, it's our words, but, that's my father figure and my sensei, so I just say, in that context, his words, but it's our words. It's the words of the original people that the Most High writes on our heart anyway. So it was already on my heart, but he helped, give me the actual way to phrase it, and see it in being acted out as an example, and then I can write about what I see, about how he actually lives it. So that's what I want my legacy to be. Okay, he was a scribe for the a scribe for the Messiah.
Word. Hey, and with that being said, everybody, let me just leave y'all with this. Islam, I, self, Lord, and Master, is the same message as the Bible, because Christ taught us, master your knowledge of self so you can connect with the higher power. And just the same way in the Torah, the prophets told you, master yourself so you can connect with the Most High, so you can elevate to the best of your ability to live life at its grandest peak. And Kam, an MC and a man, whether you like his music or like his stance or not, has elevated the minds of those who are looking for real hip-hop with a message. And as a person who's listening and growing for your message, I thank you for this interview, and I wish you nothing more but life and eternal blessings that runneth over.
Man, bless you, man. This is beautiful, man. Like I said, I love your wisdom, bro. Heritage hip-hop for life, not to the death, because it's never going to die. So I love you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that being said, everybody, we say peace, and we out.
Peace.
West Coast hip-hop has always been very honest and very open. And Kam is one of the MCs from the West that talked about never giving into the system that hates you. So salute to Kam and salute to that movement. Salute to Dame Dash also for coming together with Kam to making the Culture Vultures song. Heritage hip hop is not one to call other people out, but for the sake of what's going on in the culture today, if you still support DJ Vlad, there is a very big problem, because not focusing on the culture and calling out the people who make the culture great, such as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, may the Most High's blessings be upon him, is a problem. And us in hip hop, we have to stand for the people who have stood for us. Because I don't know about anybody else who has political office or social office. None of them have done and stood as hard as Minister Louis Farrakhan has stood for us. So salute to the NOI leader. Salute to our brothers in the NOI. And as Kam said, we all are the nation, whether you're in the religion or not. We are a nation of people together. And as other people that say we have to stay on code, we have to support our own, kin related, blood related, until they show us otherwise. So with that being said, this is Karev. Thank you for listening to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. We thank you for all your patronage. We thank you for all your support. And everybody out there, you can support us by going to www.heritagehiphop.com and becoming a member and get some of this free music. We have a playlist out right now. Playlist number 5 is coming out very soon. You can follow us on Heritage Hip Hop on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you like, comment, and share on all the videos, and let's continue to grow together. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are available there too, so make sure that you support. We're dropping episodes daily, trying to catch up with our back catalog and put it out on the streaming platforms. Before we get out of here, we want to give a shout out to Michael Bradley of Transparent Credit Repair. That's right. Go to www.heritagehiphop.com. Click on the link for Transparent Credit Repair. Change your financial future with one decision. 20% off of everybody transactions if you go through heritagehiphop.com. We'd like to give a shout out to BQ of Fatty's Place. Pull through, BQ. We want you to come back home. Salute the Lex Diamonds of Diamonds Entertainment LLC and their Sports Cards podcast. Salute the Wildfire Marketing and Fire Jaws. New music coming from him soon. Salute to the Goodfellas TV, Tommy Guns, Shaw Montana, Dad the Photographer, AEP_presents on Facebook, and DJ Big A, AHDAYAR on YouTube. We'd like to give a final shout out to all of you who are the heritage of hip hop, which is God's people. And if we are God's people and we are his heritage, our heritage is hip hop. So let's protect the culture from Culture Vultures. Let's protect the culture by supporting our children, supporting our youth, and giving them something positive to look forward to and to celebrate as not only they age, but as they can pass this culture on to their young in just the same way. Hip hop is the only living genre that lives and evolves with the people. So let's protect our lives and let's protect our people. With that being said, this is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop saying peace, and we out.